All right, July 7th, 2025, and thought we'd try to do something different today and go live a little bit here if you want. I can try to add my camera, but let me see if I can do that. Um, Video camera, and that way you guys can actually see me. Here I am in the flesh right there. And then that's just a little too much of me. So let's tone this down just a little bit right here, and let's get to some of these great questions that people have asked in the Discord server. Uh, First one is, how do you prepare for the day? Uh, Good question, John. It looks like John and JJ and Tiffany and a lot of others have been participating in this. And I'm going to try to keep these very brief, 5 minutes or less. And the way I prepare for the day is that, first of all, I got to take care of myself, right? I got to make sure that I'm eating right. I got to exercise and then get a good night's sleep. And then what I'll do, I will come into my Think or Swim here, and I will start the day by going into uh, my actual Think or Swim, and I'll just get a general idea of where the market is as far as the sectors are and as far as the days for the four ETFs that we follow. And I keep it really simple. For those of you who are fairly new to following the channel, I use the 10-day moving average here to help me determine if the market is in an uptrend or in a downtrend. And you can see here that the market has been in an 8-day uptrend. If you want to know more about that, we definitely can go over that. There are some videos out there as well. So that's the first thing that I do, John. I want to know the market direction and know the number of days for the trend. Let's go here to the second one. How is your computer and monitor set up? All right, so here is what I have currently set up right here in my office. This laptop right here actually powers these three screens right here. And at all times, I can see these four ETFs right here to the right. And then right up here, these are the sectors because we want to know what they're buying or which sector they're buying. And then I have my 5 major time frames right here to the left, along with my watch list here. Now, over here, these are my favorites that I like to watch because I always like to know if they're buying my favorites. And then right here, these are all my positions on these two screens. Okay, so favorites and uh, positions. And then this, believe it or not, and people laugh at me when I say this is my backup PC. Now, if you've been trading for a while, and if you've ever had a power outage or if you've ever had a computer crash, it's always nice to have a spare. And so I kind of use this as my spare. And these 3 monitors right here, basically the same thing. These are the ETFs and the 4 ETFs that we follow for the indices and the major screen. And then these are the 3 inverse ETFs that I just love to hit to the downside. So when the market is roaring and going higher and trending higher, I will short these all day long and try to take as much money from these as possible. So that's my setup. That might be a little overkill, but that's just who I am, man. I'm an IT nerd. Great question. Number 3, what platform are you using? This is the Thinkorswim platform. It originally came from or was designed for TD Ameritrade, and then Schwab bought it out. And I love it because it's just a very simple platform to use, and it allows me to script almost anything that I want. As a matter of fact, there are so many great programmers out there that have written all these scripts. And what I mean by that is that when you look at these studies here, these are all studies that were customized for how I trade. And these are the canned ones that you actually can get. And I have found that the best way to make money in the market is to design your own market and kind of make it do what you want it to. And if it doesn't, then you just stay out of it. So that's what I ended up doing. And then as I get more and more of these, what I'll do in the Discord server, you can find these right here. This is my workspace, and these are my scripts. Let's go back to that first question though, because John had also asked me how I prepare for the day. I'll also add to that and say every day I come in here and I do a full time frame continuity scan within my basket to know what is set up. And because we know that we have 5 time frames here, the most important one is the day for me because that is the first one to flip because it's the smallest time frame. So you can see here that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I would possibly watch going into tomorrow because it's either inside or we're ready to do a 2-2 rev up. Now you can also go down and hopefully see a couple threes, and you can see that right here. You've got knee and then charter, but those would be on my watch list, and that's how fast I do it. Now, if I want to expand that, I can do the same search on all stocks right here. But there are a lot of names in here that I don't know. And if I don't know it, I don't trade it. It's as simple as that. Don't know it, don't trade it. Now, if it catches my eye and I find that it fits my criteria, then I'll add it to my basket. And that right here is my basket. Right here. This is my basket. And you can see that there are a lot of them that don't have full time frame continuity on here. So it's just easier to do that scan in my basket right here. Just like that. Bam. All right. Next question. Oops. Next question is, let's see. Do you scan for stocks and how is it done? I think I just answered that one. Didn't realize, John, that you had added that one. That's good. Why are you teaching people for free? Is there a catch? Man, that is a really good question. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I am one of these guys who I love to teach, first of all. And I love to show people how to potentially make money. Now, did you notice how I didn't say guaranteed to make money? Because that really depends upon you. But if I can give you the right tools and share with you how to do it and how to possibly benefit from it, then you're going to hopefully learn how to fish forever and pay it forward. So that's why I'm doing it. There's absolutely no catch. I've never, ever charged a dime for any of this. And I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. This is just my way of giving back to a great strat community because I know there are a lot of people out there who are trying to learn how to do this, or they may have a lot of questions on how to get started. It may not even be about the strat. They might have questions on how in the heck did you set up Thinkorswim like that to get it to do what you have it set up to do. And that's stuff that I spend a lot of time with as well, showing people how to add it in, how to customize it. So that's why I do it. No catch, no catch. There isn't some secret level or secret service out there. What I post in here is real time, and I try to keep it very, very real. Great question. Um, do you have a daily or a weekly monetary goal? So daily, I try to. I guess I look at it this way, with a daily goal. Most people, if they work 8 hours a day, average wage is $15 an hour, right? Most people try to bring in $120 a day working a normal job. Um, that's kind of my minimum goal is 120. And if done right, I can tell you that's usually hit within the first hour most days. Most days, I won't tell you, where I'll stop as far as, you know, if the day is right, let's put it this way. Warren Buffett always said, if it's raining gold, put a bucket out. And you're going to find out with trading that there are days where you are just absolutely raking it in. And then you're going to have other days where it does absolutely nothing. And those are the days that you have to identify. The market is doing nothing but chopping back and forth. So therefore, I need to be patient and I just need to take a step back. Great question, John. How do you set your stops? There are a lot of different ways to set stops within Thinkorswim. If you go into, I'm just going to use on demand. And for those of you who aren't familiar with on demand, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool to help you back test the strategy that you believe to be true or what you believe to be your edge. And you can go back with on demand and it'll go back to any date or time here within the last 2 years. And you can just practice trading. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, practice makes perfect. Get in here, practice, or just, try to learn in real time as well and limit your exposure. But what I like about this is not only does it allow me to back test it on these 5 time frames, it also allows me to back test my workspace. Let me explain. So this is my streaming base workspace right here. Now, if I wanted to apply a streaming extended version of this, look at that, just like that, because I have that workspace in place, it allows me to do that. And then I can learn how to take these trades based upon on demand. So if I believe this is going to go down, I can sell the bid here and then hopefully get filled in practice and do that. Now, the nice thing about on demand is that it gives you a $100,000 practice account. So you can actually do this with, either cash or you can do it with options. So check out on demand. If you have more questions about that, let me know. I'm going to go back to the real world now. And what we're going to do is go back to our streaming base here and move on to the next question. Next question. The stops. I never got to the stops. I'm sorry. Let's go to the stops. Let's go back to on demand. I was waiting for this thing to fill, but it never filled. And, it's not a perfect machine, but at times it does work really, really well. So if I go in here and place an order, sell the bid, and let's go here and let's go to the day. Let's just see if we get filled here. Okay, so I know I got filled here because this says POS. That doesn't stand for what you think. It's not piece of, it's position. And what you can do when you come in here and you customize your grid right here, you can enable this sidebar, and that's what you see right here, this sidebar. Now, because I have that sidebar enabled, I then can go in here to this gear cog and I can start customizing what I want to be on that toolbar right there. And this would be a good place if you want to learn how to trade stock, because I get a lot of questions. I know how to trade options, but I don't know how to trade stock. This is how you would do that. You would set all this just like this right here, because now if I want to, I can also come into the gear cog here and I can show my position, right? I can show my position and I can show my orders. So watch this. I'm going to hit apply And now I can see that I have 5 shares here that I shorted at 81.06. If I want to set my stop, there's 2 ways to do this, okay? Or there's 2 ways to think about this. If I set my stop, they know where my stop is and they're going to go head hunting, right? And they're going to hit that stop. I believe that. They see all those orders down there, and sometimes they will hit those orders and smoke everyone to the downside because they like to take those orders. We agree on that. So you can do a mental stop, or if you are just learning, what you can do, go to this POS right here, and if you right click on it, you can create what they call a closing order with an OCO bracket. Now, the moment you do that, you're going to notice that you have 2 different prices here. This is set for a dollar move up or a dollar move down. And you can set this for the day on both of them, or you can put good till cancel. If you're new to it, I would just say take the defaults and go to day. Now watch what happens. After I send this right here, if I drill down into this and maximize this, you can see now I have these stops right here. So if I know this is possibly going to trade down to here and I want to get out and take profit, I can drag that down and hit send. Or if I don't want it to go against me, like the high of the day here at 82.16, if I hover over here, you can see I have my stop at 82.24. This trade is over. And that's one of the nice things about Thinkorswim and using OCO orders is that if you're not disciplined enough to get out of the trade, this will help you do that. But just keep in mind, this is only good for the day. And if you want to trade or keep it out there, you would have to come in here and replace this to a good till cancel or good till cancel plus extended hours. But GTC is good, right? You can do that. I believe it'll take it, right? And then I can come down here and change this to a good till canceled as well. So that's how I would recommend that you use stops or set a stop if you're fairly new. And then you can just walk away because this trade is over. All right, great question, John. Hope I addressed that one right. Let's get back to the other questions here to base 3. And let's go right here. Okay, so stops. Tiffany, do you review your trades? How often? And what are the key analysis areas? Oh man, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. So when I was first starting out, I was one of these guys who literally flew by the seat of his pants, right? I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. And then I thought, that's not really setting a really good example for a lot of the new traders out there because I really believe that you should journal your trades. And so I think last quarter, third quarter, I started journaling all this. And let me bump this off screen here for a minute and bring up one of these trading journals. And I'll just bring up for the first quarter of 2025. How's that sound? And so what I did, I ended up journaling all my trades here for selling the put, cover calls, for stocks, and then I had some examples here. But the reason I did that, this wasn't to show off. This was actually to show you how I journal all this. And if this is something that you guys are interested in, let me know and we can share this back out. I wasn't sure if anyone was actually looking at it, but here I can actually copy this link for you and you can check it out because one thing you're going to find out with me, Tiffany, is that I'm transparent, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna try to pull the wool over your eyes and just tell you that I am great and I never lose. That's a bunch of BS. People lose all the time. So that's how I journal, and that's how I kind of keep a running total. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got to the point where I just stopped journaling here because I think you guys got the point as far as how I took it, why I took it, and then my notes right here. But I think I got up to like $11,589, and I said, you know what, I'm done doing this. Because over to the right, if we look right here, I have a good idea of when I'm winning and when I'm losing. So that's how you know when you're getting to that point as a trader as well. Number 9, do you tag your trades? What is an example of the win rate and win loss ratio? Um, let me show you. Let me see if I can do this real time without exposing too much. Okay, so just bear with me. And right now, what I'm doing, I'm actually going into my Schwab account. Okay, and I'm looking at my trade history or my realized gain and loss. And what I'll do, I'm gonna hopefully, well, you know what? If you see this number, I don't care. There, that right there is my gain loss ratio right now, and I don't mind sharing that with people because again, I'm transparent. You can see right now I have a 93.17% gain loss ratio. That's just how it is, and that's being real. And I don't know if too many traders are going to be real like that. But you notice I do have losses, right? There's no such thing as a perfect system. So I hope that helps with that question right there. And now let's go back here to JJ. Where do you journal your trades? I journal those with Google Drive. That's that link I just shared with you. And do you journal daily or in the week? I really don't journal a whole lot anymore because I see all my trades again over here to the right. Uh, how to handle drawdown? How do you handle emotion when taking a loss? Boy, that's a really good question too, JJ. Uh, let me try to answer that as honestly as I can. So when I was first learning how to trade, I'm flat out going to be honest with you. I'm a sore loser. I am just a sore loser, right? I'm a very competitive guy. And I used to get so mad, so mad. Let me put that into perspective. I could take 10 trades in a day. I could have 9 win and I would have 1 lose. And guess which one I would focus on? I would focus on the 1 loser. Okay. And it really got to the point where I began to realize I'm pissed when I make money. I'm pissed when I lose money. Maybe I'm just a pissed off guy who just wants the perfect system. And so when I came to that conclusion that it doesn't exist, I was then able to focus on the positive and say, dude, you are killing it. You're hitting 90% of the trades. Let that 10% go. And so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up just reshifting my thoughts and understanding that I don't care who you follow, what guru of the month is hot or what not, you're always going to have winners and losers in any system. Uh, Highly recommend that you check out Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. You can do a YouTube search on that, and he will talk about that. You don't know what's going to happen next, and you don't need to know. You just need to know if you're winning or losing. That's it. Uh, but to draw down that equity curve, that's normal to have a normal equity curve that goes up and down, right? And when you think about it, it has to because the market is always changing. It's always adapting, right? It's not always trending up. You're going to have trends up, you're going to have corrections, and then you're going to have trends up, and then you might have a correction, and then you might just have a big flush like we did this year, where we just wipe everyone out, and then all of a sudden you see this equity curve just plummet, right? Especially if you don't have a stop. So it's always important that you have a stop in place. Great question. What are your trading rules? Uh, my trading rules. Let me show you. Uh, trading rules. I my trading rules are very simple, and that is to let me bring up my logo here because that's probably the easiest way to do it. Let me bring up my logo because a lot of people look at this logo and they go, I don't get it, dude. And it's like, you know what? Let me just explain it to you because it's very simple. And as you learn how I trade, you really uh, hopefully will adopt it. But this is my logo. Roops is the one who made this logo. I can't thank him enough for it. But this is it. I was told that my trading style or your trading style should be so simple that you can put it on the back of a napkin. And so this is my napkin. And basically, this is what I believe. Price trades within a rectangle box here that forms support and resistance. Now, when we get below the 10, the lowest point is my support. And then when price reverses and comes back down, that now is my resistance. So that is the bottom and the top of the box. That is how I use the 10 SMA. Now, 1, 2, 3, that's pretty obvious. That's Rob. That's strat. That's the strat that we apply. And then I really believe that stocks use this run, rest, run. Some people call it a TTO, triangle day out. Whatever you call it, just know that is normal price action. And then the other two are just to remind me to always trade the truth and to be focused, patient, and disciplined. This area right here, and I'm just going to circle this right here with my mouse. This is why a lot of traders fail right here. Focus, patience, and discipline, because too many traders think they are smarter than the market and they do not let it play out. If you're being honest with me, there are a lot of traders out there that tap out of a trade because they believe or they know that it's going to, and then it doesn't, right? And then it reverses and it does the opposite. And then you're looking foolish. So, like I tell people, self-sabotage is real, and stop being your own worst enemy. And that's why we use our stops. And I really hope that speaks to someone right now because someone needed to hear that. Stop being your own worst enemy and let it play out. All right. Let's see. We got another question here. Number 10 from Weibo. When did you know the strat was working for you? Weibo, great question. So, like most people, and this goes back again to Mark Douglas, and he talks about a sample set and basically how you have to be willing to have a creed or a set of rules. And when it triggers, you have to take the trade and you have to let it play out. And I found that once I did that and I followed the rules, especially with full time frame continuity, all of a sudden I was making money. All of a sudden I was relaxed in the trade. And it's just like it flipped like that, Weibo, where it was like, okay, uh, this is working. And I'm going to be honest with you. It took me getting my butt kicked, almost walking away from this, and then regrouping, and then learning the strat, and then saying, I am going to do this with one share. And here's the deal. I'm giving myself permission to lose X amount. That's it. And this is my last go. And if it works, then I'm going to continue to do it. But if I fail, that's all right because I'm going to give it one more try. And it was that one last try that got me to where I am right now. And It all started with me getting my butt in a car, grabbing my wife's hand, and going to St. Louis and meeting Rob and some of the other stratters out there, and just having a heart-to-heart talk and saying, you know, I know all about your system, but does it work? And he said, well, why don't you think it works? And I said, because I'm not consistent. I win and then I lose. I call it a boom or bust. I win and then I lose and then I win and then I give it all back. And we started talking, and I think after like the second hour in, uh, it pretty much hit me. Full time frame continuity is where it's at. Once you learn how to use full time frame continuity, that's when it all starts to change, because you're going to have a lot more confidence in taking that trade. And that's when it really, really started to work for me. So, guys, I appreciate all the questions. Great questions. I hope this helps you uh, relate to trading and to what we're trying to do here in the Discord server. We'd love to have you if you're new. If you have a lot of questions or if you're just learning, come and join us. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So until we meet again, please, before you hit stop, click the like button, subscribe, and come and join us in the Discord server. All right, until we meet again, take care and God bless.